Hey you guys, Irene Lyon here. Welcome to this video today. This video is going to be sort of a Q&A to a recent article that I just posted out called Anger as Medicine, How to Cure Self-Sabotaging Behaviors. Now I want to just address one thing, and I'm not going to regurgitate that article. I will post it below this video so you can go and read it at your leisure. But one of the questions I was getting, there were a few people that were a little not happy with my idea of anger as medicine. And I'm not sure if those folks had actually read the article or if they just saw the title and then instantly thought, oh, this is crap. I have no idea. But the one thing I really want to convey is that when I say anger is medicine, I don't mean violence. I don't mean crime. I don't mean abuse. I don't mean rage even. I don't mean aggression in a sense that is damaging. I mean the emotion anger. Just like sadness is an emotion that we feel, anger is a physical, internal, biological, sensory emotion that we must feel. And for many of us, and I don't know the stats, but I can tell you it's probably very, very high. Most of us living in our civilized Western world, especially the first world, we have been taught that anger is bad, that we shouldn't express it, and we get it confused with violence, and it's not violence. Anger is an internal energy that is our life force. It's what allows us to set up boundaries and say no, or to say I don't like that, or to protect something when threat is imposed upon us, to us, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal or emotional abuse. And when you read the article, I have a story of a little girl that I saw who was probably 2, and she was being ignored by her dad. She was having what we would consider a temper tantrum. And just read the article so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. But I saw this and it sparked me to want to write this article, because what occurs when a little person is having that kind of a temper tantrum and they are being ignored, because that's what was happening with the dad. He just literally was walking away and leaving her there. And we were in a public spot. This wasn't like in the bushes in the middle of nowhere. He was clearly nearby, but he had left her sight or her side, and she was in big distress. And when we have that kind of thing happen to us, we shut down over time. That little girl is going to learn that her internal sensations and her discomforts and whatever it is, her frustrations that she's feeling, that they are not okay. And because a little person has to survive and do what they have to do to stay loved and cared for, over time, these sorts of things make it such that a human being represses and holds things in, and they don't let out their true nature, their life force, their emotions, be it anger, sadness, joy, etc. So it comes down to the emotion of anger, not the actions that anger can produce if not integrated and processed properly. So there's a big, big distinction in there. In the article, I also quote the work of Dr. Gabor Mate. He writes about anger extensively in his book, When the Body Says No, so be sure to check that out if you want a little bit of backup around this information. But even he, in that book, speaks to the energetic component of anger, feeling the internal fire that we feel when we've been wronged, and then knowing what to do with it, knowing how to engage with the people in our lives in a way that isn't volatile, but is socially engaged, but also enables us to express something that we don't like. The trouble with this is that because we have suppressed this so much, we have no framework, we have no roadmap for how to do this. So we're at a really interesting time right now in the world, because there's so much violence, there's so much crime. Yes, there are lots of folks that are shifting that, and people are being loving and compassionate, and there's a lot of good humanitarian work happening, but by there's a lot of bad stuff happening. And in order, I believe, in order for that to shift, in order for that to change, we need to start recognizing our true biological, animalistic selves, because we are mammals, and we have emotions just like the tiger, just like the snarling dog, just like those gorillas that have huge life energy. And when we squash that life energy, not only do we keep ourselves small, but we end up getting sick. There is a connection between the suppression of life force energy and chronic conditions later in life, whether physical or mental. Depression is a big one. When we squash our anger and our life force energy and we don't allow it to flow, we get depressed because we can't function continually in this sort of suppression state. So in other words, what happens is we don't even realize that we're suppressing it because it's happened from such a young age. And maybe that's what we saw when we were growing up. Or the flip side, we saw too much violence, too much aggression in the household that was volatile and not contained. And so the last thing we want to do when we become adults is show that energy. So I wanted to just say that. Really, it's just a sidebar to this article. So definitely check that article out, read it in its entirety. It is a little long, but there's a lot of good information in there to sort of just let you know, like, this is normal, and it's also something we're not used to. Therefore, it's going to seem a little odd to think of this idea of anger as medicine. But trust me when I say 99.999% of the clients I work with who have various chronic problems in their health, mental health, immune system health, anger is something that they have real difficulty expressing. There's often a lot of shame attributed to it, and we want to get that healthy stuff out in a way that is contained, safe, and gives us good energy and resiliency. That's it for today. Take very good care, and we will see you next time. Hey guys, it's Irene Lyon here, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you would like more of these videos and more information on your nervous system, how to heal it, how to keep it healthy, right below you can click on to my website and sign up for my email updates. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you over there.